Next on the horn from Alcorn State University is Coach Jay Hopson. Coach Hopson, are you with us?
Yes, you got me.
You doing okay this morning?
Doing good.
All right. Of course, we just talked to Coach Barlow from Alabama State. Alcorn was on the other end of that loss on Saturday. Coach, talk a little bit about that game and what you have coming up at home this weekend against Southern.
Yeah, just a comedy of errors. I mean, Billy, that's where we are. I mean, with that, I mean, you had a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown, interception for a touchdown, 3 block punts or down that were touchdowns. You had a fumble on the kickoff return, I think on the 2-yard line for a touchdown. I mean, it's just, stuff you got no chance. Like I said, you can't beat Alaska Sisters of the Poor if you do what you do right there. So it's a deal. I think we totaled it up. They had 24 yards and 42 points. So, I mean, that's just, we definitely have to hold on to the football and catch it.
Okay, you're going to be hosting a red-hot Southern team. It's 1-2 in a row. Talk about that game coming up.
Yeah, I mean, basically we're just worried about catching the ball right now. So I'm not, just doing the little things. So, I mean, to me, it's still, we got to worry about us, just make sure. I mean, like, it was a slop fest out there, but and I know the elements and the weather were tough, and Southern's doing, they've had 2 big wins, so we know that. But for us, it's about our operation. I thought, on the end, you look at things, you try to look at a game objectively. We got to hold on to the ball. I mean, Alabama State had 2 good drives for 14 points, but the other 42, we just handed them to them.
All right, questions for Coach Jay Hopson from Alcorn State. Questions for Coach Hopson.
Coach, how hard is it to stick to your game plan when you have those type of turnovers like you mentioned to open up your conference call?
You don't know what because I've never, like I said, I've never been around 40, a team getting basically 24 yards and 42 points before, just given, basically it's you got no chance. I mean, you're not, like I said, you can't beat anybody if you do that. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a junior high school football team, you ain't gonna win. So, I mean, we've definitely, we gotta catch the ball and hold on to the football. And I know the elements have something to do with it, but at the end of the day, that's not an excuse. You got to play in the elements. So we definitely have to hold on the ball.
More questions for Coach Jay Hopson. Well, Coach, talk a little bit about your game plan for bottling up Dre Joseph. He had a great game against Florida A&M on Saturday, and he's going to be a handful to handle.
Yeah, I thought we played pretty well. I mean, we're going to go do what we do and play ball. I thought we played pretty well defensively. You think, this guy's crazy with 56 points, but really the defense, we had the one missed assignment where the Crowell kid went like 60 yards. But other than that, it's pretty much, it was, we had the other drive, too. We stopped them, but we got the offsides on the punt return. So but give them credit. They had the 2 good drives for touchdowns. But I thought defensively we played fairly decent, like I said. But, we're not – if we come in there and we fumble the ball and have 3 punts blocked and fumble the ball in the end zone twice and have an interception return for touchdown, it'll be of irrelevance. So it doesn't matter what we do. But they got a good team, and they've done a good job. And, we got to go ready. We got to prepare to get a win. That's what it's all about. So, we got to get ready.
How important is it when you're trying to rebound from a game like that to be coming back home?
Well, it's good to always to be back home. But, the end of the day is, we've got to, heck, we just got to take care of what we do, and it doesn't really matter to us if we play home or away or wherever. We got to handle the little things and hold on to football. And if we, that's all I'm worried about right now is just making sure that we do the things that give us a chance, to win games.
All right. Do we have any other questions for Coach Jay Hopson from Alcorn State?
Coach, what's the magnitude of your locker room after, giving up points in which they did? Are the guys down and out? What's the personality like now?
I think we're really good. I think because we realize that, it's a point where it's not necessarily anything that Alabama State, anytime you give a team 42 points, I told them, look, it's a 14-14 game or it's a 14-7 game if you don't give them 6 touchdowns. But if you give it, and you got to remember now, if you go back, our game, the first punt, the punter dropped, the snapper rolls it back there, and the punter puts his knee on the ground and gives them the ball right there. The second punt hits him right in the numbers. He drops it they get it on the 2-yard line. You know, since then we miss a protection and get the ball bounce up in the air about 10 feet, and they catch it and run it in the end zone. Then we fumble the kickoff on the 2-yard line. They score. Then we drop or bobble another punt, roll it back, then they block that for a touchdown. So, you know, it's one of those deals where I think the kids realize, you know, it was more of a special team. Now, we have, 5 turnovers on special teams, kickoff, return, and punt. So I think it's one of those deals where they realize it wasn't so much of an offensive defensive deal. It was more of just a misexecution on special teams. So that's our charge this week. We'll shore up our special teams, you know, and we'll make changes, and we'll do things to make changes, you know, in those units.
All right. Do we have any? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, what do you think causes that kind of letdown on special teams, and how do you?
Well, I think the weather had a lot to do with it, you know, because it's kind of like it's a lot like you know, Reggie said, it was just pouring down rain. You know, I mean, it was a, you know, quagmire. It was rain, and the balls were real slippery, and you know, that's one thing. You know, we got to do a better job even getting the balls in dry. You know what I'm saying? So we're not out there playing with slicked out balls that are uncatchable. But if you watched the game or if you saw it, I mean, you know, our receivers couldn't catch the ball. Their receivers couldn't catch the ball. Nobody could hold on to the football. You know what I mean? So it was a slick ball, but, you know, then again, that's stuff that, you know, you got to handle. You got to handle the elements, and you got to operate. And the Alabama State did a much better job in the rain operating than we did.
All right. Do we have any other questions for Coach Jay Hopson? All right, Coach, I'd like to thank you